One rapper beat a nop in front of the CO, and another rapper was found dead. These are craziest rappers' moments behind bars caught on camera. Chicago drill rapper King Vaughn had a reputation for being fearless in the streets, and security footage shows he kept that same energy behind bars. One of the wildest times caught on prison cams shows Vaughn and his homie jumping an op right in front of a guard. Eventually, more CO showed up and hit him with pepper spray, forcing Vaughn to duck off and wipe his face. When questioned later about what happened, Vaughn kept it solid and didn't snitch.
Can you tell me what happened?
I got maced.
Why'd you get maced?
I was in the hallway.
You was in the hallway.
I was in the barbershop. Hit the corner. Who maced me still? I don't know. Somebody maced me.
They just maced you for no reason?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You got any injuries?
Yeah.
Did you receive medical attention?
No, I talked to
That wasn't Vaughn's only prison fade. Another clip shows Vaughn in a holding cell when he spotted his op, 051 Freaky. And without hesitation, Vaughn somehow slips out of his cuffs and goes straight for Freaky, who tried hiding but couldn't escape. Vaughn knocks him to the ground, and two others jump in to help put in the work. Guards eventually break up everything and removed both men from the bullpen. Then the guards tried asking Vaughn what happened, but just like before, he doesn't budge.
In your own words, explain what happened?
do nothing.
You refusing to give a statement?
That's my statement right there. I ain't do nothing.
Mr. Bennett stating that he did not do anything. Anything else you want to add?
Nah, that's it.
You have any injuries?
The beef between Vaughn and Freaky reportedly stemmed from a disrespectful tattoo Freaky had that said FLA Capone, a disrespect to one of Vaughn's dead homies. The King even had the prison on fire, literally, back on April 15th, 2017, when him and a bunch of guys set fire to the Cook County Jail. Fortunately, the fire died down before causing too much damage. But another incident shows Vaughn in the day room when he sees two guys jumping one of his ops. Vaughn jumps right in. This just shows why King Vaughn's reputation for being about that life followed him everywhere, even behind bars. He remained the same savage from O-Block that fans knew from his music. Now, while some inmates are setting fires and jumping their ops on camera, another Chicago drill rapper had his whole image flipped when a wild video from the county leaked and went viral. Lil J, the Chicago drill rapper with mad clout in the streets, kinda went crazy after this viral video leaked. The footage catches him straight chillin' with another male inmate. Despite the clip spreading like fire, Lil J wasn't tripping. Word is he kept it a buck, saying he still had respect in the streets and wasn't stressing what others thought about his business.
I'm still Shot Rap Wolverine, still King Lil J, bro. Still well respected in the streets. I ain't got niggas that but they like, man, that video was you. We don't get no, bro. We know what you do. You a real nigga. So what? The past, the past.
Prison cams caught this one time Lil J had to step up for this dude he was rocking with after some inmate tried bullying him. It shows Lil J pulling up to the cell of the inmate who's causing problems, and the two try to squabble it out. The two met up inside, and after they got busy, the COs yanked Lil J from the day room, letting the man he was defending bounce from his cell. The beef got even more disrespectful when this other inmate took things to another level. tossing a whole container of straight doo-doo and other foul shit at Lil JJ. That nasty move had the guards questioning him about what popped off, adding another chapter to his already hot prison stay.
In your own words, can you tell me what happened?
I got into a verbal altercation earlier. I was on the phone, somebody sprayed shit on me. I defended myself and we fought.
Okay, that concludes this interview.
The harassment was nonstop, with inmates constantly trying to test Lil J's gangsta over what they peeped in that viral video. Despite all the heat coming his way, though, Lil J kept handling his biz behind them walls, proving that prison politics can be just as grimy as life on the block. But if you thought getting hit with literal shit was bad, wait until you hear about how staying on the phone too long led to a rapper's death in the prison showers. Money Sign Suede was making major waves in California's rap scene before his life took a tragic turn. In 2023, Suede was doing a bid in Soledad prison, serving about 2 years and 8 months on a gun charge. Unlike many artists maintaining their street ties inside, Suede was trying to walk a different path. He wasn't trying to bang inside the walls, he just wanted to serve time quietly and get back to his music. According to other inmates, though, the stance didn't sit well with everyone, especially members of the Sudeños gang. Now, they weren't feeling how Suede was just moving through the yard, keeping to himself, instead of falling in line with prison politics. And what made it worse was that Suede spent a lot of time on the phone with his girl on the outside. Word got around that during these calls, some gang members thought he might be trying to dry snitch, maybe talking too much about what was happening inside. Just a few months into his sentence, on April 25, 2023, guards noticed Suede was missing during a routine check. And after searching the whole place, they find him unresponsive in the shower with a stab wound to his neck. Despite medical staff trying to save him, Suede kicked the bucket.
Authorities say 22-year-old Jamie Valdez of Huntington Park was found in the shower area of the Soledad Correctional Facility. This was around 10 Tuesday night.
Now, this guy was on the come-up in the music scene, really making it a tragic story. His videos were gaining serious traction, and fans were waiting for him to touch down and drop more heat. Suede's situation shows that for artists with a name on those streets, sometimes there ain't no way to just serve your time in peace. And speaking of that loyalty behind walls, nobody could have predicted how blood ties would be broken when one rapper faced the ultimate betrayal during his murder case. Queso was making serious noise in Jacksonville's rap scene before things take another sharp turn. The Ace's Top Killer's ATK rapper finds himself locked up facing some heavy murder charges. When Queso got booked, he was already deep in the street beef between ATK and KTA. Kill them all. Two rival Jacksonville crews that had been going at it for years. Now, this wasn't just music beef. Bodies been dropping on both sides, and Queso was allegedly involved in some of those situations. But what makes Queso's prison story wild is how the tables turned on him. In a move nobody saw coming, his own father switched sides and started working with the police. Imagine that, your own pops testifying against you when you're already fighting for your freedom. Now, some rappers may lose it behind bars, but Queso stayed calculated, knowing any slip-up would just make things worse for his case. But sometimes it ain't even the inmates you gotta watch out for, it's the COs. That was not acting when the guard rushed him and took him down with excessive force. Queso's grandmother was so heated about that situation that she filed a formal complaint with the prison. But sometimes the danger ain't just from snitches, as one rapper found out when a face-to-face confrontation with a rival gang member left him with a permanent gap in his smile. Crip Mack, known for being one of the most outspoken and unapologetic gang-affiliated rappers in the game. But his time behind bars just show how things can get real when street beef follows you right inside there. While doing his bid, Crip Mack found himself in a situation that many fear but few have experienced on camera, a face-to-face confrontation with your enemies. You're in prison now, you can't just slide out when your ops pull up. When you're locked down, you gotta face whatever comes your way. and it looks like Crip Mack found himself going head-to-head with a blood member.
All I heard was blood, 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 blood constantly, and I still went in there. But as soon as I went in there, look, everything went silent. I said to myself, oh, cuh. I looked over, there were some young niggas my size, a little smaller, and I looked, see a motherfucker about 6'6", 370 pounds, light-skinned, big mother, swole.
Oh, no.
He said, where you from? I said, I'm in from Crip Mack from 5'5" and 8 Blood Crip. He didn't fire on me, tried to knock me out right away.
Ain't no guns in here, boy, just knuckle sandwiches. And that's exactly what went down. The two square up, and what happens next would leave Crip Mack with a permanent reminder of the fade. But show some respect because he still kept scrapping until COs finally broke things up.
He said pretty much like this, hey, you either gonna get down with my young homeboys, you gonna get down with me. But my name is this and this of your hood, pretty much with a K. I said, I gotta get down. I came out my shirt, squared up with him, right? I'm coming in as fast as I can, try to hit him. Hit once. That motherfucker hit me so hard, I thought a hammer bust my whole face open.
Damn.
Like, I can't start swinging again. This motherfucker beat the fuck out of me. I mean, my whole face was busted open. Like, hey, I'm gonna let your homies know you're not a buster, blood.
Crip spoke about the incident, even flashing the gap in his smile where his tooth used to be. Unlike many who might cap about such encounters, Crip Mack kept it a buck about what went down. Ain't nothing to hide here. While some inmates take their losses and keep it pushing, others decide to make the guards' lives absolute hell, even if it means throwing away any chance of ever getting out. TK blew up with his hit The Race while he was literally running from the law. But that wild behavior wouldn't stop once the cuffs were on. The young Texas rapper, currently serving a 55-year sentence, has been giving the prison staff absolute hell since day one. The majority of people in here try to keep their heads down, do their time quietly, but TK had other plans. Reports show that he was wilding out on the regular, cursing at guards, staying on the phone way past his allowed time, and even throwing wet toilet paper at corrections officers. This man really had no chill behind bars. The most shocking thing that broke down, though, was in November 2020, when news broke that TK had caught additional time for stabbing one of the prison guards. That's right, on top of that 55-year sentence. TK was now facing more time for this wild attack. If convicted on these new charges, he could be looking at spending the rest of his life behind bars. 23 years old, might never taste freedom again. But what makes TK's prison behavior so crazy is that most inmates with such a long sentence really try to maintain good behavior for possible appeals, maybe knock off a few years. But no, instead this guy's doubling down, almost like TK's accepted his fate and decided to go out on his own terms. But at least toilet paper won't leave a permanent mark. Nothing like what happened when a blade came flying at one New York rapper's face in a bloody prison confrontation. New York rapper Kasanova finds himself in a life-and-death situation while locked up. What started as a regular day on June 16th would quickly turn into a bloody confrontation. Now, while he was doing time, Kasanova was approached by an inmate named Ulysses Lugo, who came at him with this blade and slashed him across his face without warning. But Kasanova didn't take that shit. He immediately started throwing hands right back. When Lugo realized he couldn't handle what he started, he tried bouncing, but Cas didn't let him get away that easy. And by the time the guards showed up to break things up, Mr. Kasanova and his crew had already chased Lugo down and returned the favor, slashing him several times across the face. While the exact reason for that attack remains unclear, word on the yard was that it had something to do with a letter Kasanova had sent to the judge in his case. Some inmates might have seen that as snitching, maybe putting a target on Kasanova's back. And as wild as that prison attack was, nothing hits harder than when your own homie puts a green light on your head, forcing you to make a decision that's gonna destroy your reputation forever. If you need a lesson in how quickly alliances can flip in the rap game, we gotta check out FBG Butta's prison experience. The Chicago drill rapper was once tight with FBG Lil J, but then found out the hard way that old friends can become your worst enemies when you're locked down. Now, what makes this story wild was that, allegedly, Lil J put a hit out on Butta while they were both doing time. These two were rolling together as part of the Flyboy gang, but I guess behind bars, things change. According to reports, Lil J organized a jump on Butta inside this prison. Though the cameras didn't catch the actual fade, the aftermath was clear when Butta showed up to medical looking beat down bad. The situation was so serious that when the COs came asking questions, Butta started singing like a canary.
3 guys ran up on me and they jumped on me in the hallway. And I tried to defend myself, but the COs, they was attacking me more, and I was doing the running. And one of the guys, he was pulling my hair.
Snitching, the ultimate violation, but Butta had reached his breaking point. Prison cam shows him in the interview room, pointing fingers and dropping dimes about who ran up on him. And that move would permanently damage his street cred. But Butta was clearly fed up with that snake move from someone he once considered fam. Now, the beef between Butta and Lil J had been brewing for a minute though, with tension rising over their street politics and questions about loyalty. But nobody expected it to escalate to the point where Lil J's gonna put a hit out on his former right-hand man. Now, while snitching might make you the ultimate asshole, getting caught slipping by your ops on prison cam shows how street beef just doesn't stop because you're behind bars. Florida rapper CP3 signed to YFN Lucci's label, catches a fade while locked up in Fulton County Jail. Security footage caught the whole thing when members of YSL spot CP3. The video shows YSL members running up on him and poking him up in a brutal attack. This whole thing wasn't random violence. We have street politics playing out here, and the beef burger between YFN and YSL is hot in Atlanta. And CP3 affiliated with YFN Lucci put that target on his back. But it doesn't end here because YFN wasn't about to let that slide without clapping back. Not long after that video surfaced, another clip starts making rounds, showing YFN getting payback. This time, a YSL member finds himself tied up and catching hands.
Stop moving, bro, I bless your ass, man. Tonight you slime. Look, I can't get this shit up off of it.
The beef between these two camps was clearly heating up, with prison just becoming another block to defend.